to another episode of Outdoor Adventures. Today we're coming to you from Herring Pond on the Plymouth Bourne line down almost on the Cape. And we've got something a little different for you today. We're going to be doing some tubing. And over here, as I turn the camera around, you can see the boat we're going to be using, a Seadoo jet boat. And part of what we like to do is we like to take the kids and see how long it takes us to knock them off. So, but we don't let them drown.
Well, we might.
And some of the folks that are with us today,
Come over here, guys. Get in the picture. Hi. Come on.
Dylan,
Me.
and Riley, and Campbell. Campbell may look familiar to some of you because you have seen her on a couple of shows we've done here. Mary Watson, voice of the Whitman-Hanson Lady Panthers softball teams, and voice of the Post 22 American Legion baseball team.
That's correct.
And this is Kelly. She happens to live down here.
Hi.
And over in the boat is Zachary, who is going to be one of our victims for the day. Getting things ready to launch the boat. And inside the truck is Jeff. We'll see him later on when he gets behind the wheel. As we leave the boat ramp, you can see out in front of us a couple of rather odd-looking boats. That's because Mass Maritime Academy has a training facility here on Great Herring Pond. They use these scale models of freighters to teach the students what it takes to handle the larger versions of these ships. Today, it looks like they are practicing docking maneuvers. This is their instructor. As we head to our staging area at the north end of the pond, here are some statistics about it. Great Herring Pond is a freshwater pond located in the Cedarville section of Plymouth. Just a bit of the southeast corner of the pond extends into Bourne. It covers 376 acres. Its average depth is 20 feet, with the maximum depth of 42 feet. Its elevation is 33 feet above sea level. It is fed by Herring River from Little Herring Pond to the north and empties by the continuation of Herring River to the Cape Cod Canal in the Herring Run recreational area. A public boat ramp is located just off Sandy Pond Road, near the intersection of Herring Pond Road and Bourne. There is a stiff north wind today, making the surface of the pond very choppy. The tubing today will be pretty rough. We've come to the north end of the pond now, where it's a little smoother and we can inflate the tube very easily. And not only do we have to inflate the tube, but we have to get the tube cover lined up properly so that everything fits where it's supposed to go. The reason for these covers is that people tend to stick to the vinyl that's underneath them, and the nylon covering makes things a little easier for folks on the tube. The three kids are getting pretty anxious to get out and do some tubing.
Guys can go off the back.
Yeah, down here. What? There's an alligator!
You might find some frogs down there.
Oh, I love frogs. Who's the one that drowned the girl in their street?
Nobody's drowning anybody.
It was Gruder or something? No, Gruder, yeah.
And we're underway. As we get out for a little bit further down the wake where the water gets choppier, the area directly behind the boat in the center of the wake is usually the smoothest. But even today that's not going to be entirely true, as you can see that the tube is being affected by the choppiness of water and the waves. It'll be even worse coming back north again, heading directly into the wind. The thing to do next is to get the tube outside the wake so that we can give the kids a little bit of a rougher ride and see if we can actually give them some air. And to do that, you kind of make S-turns back and forth across the pond. So you can see that, when you're going around the corner, that they do tend to slide outside the wake. And away they go out over into the rough water, and look at them bounce. And they're loving it. Getting a little tube surfing off the boat wake. Campbell's got her foot out towards the water there. It's going to grab her if she doesn't pull it in and pull her right off that tube. Well, and there she goes. There's one down. Now let's circle around and pick her back up.
Why did you turn around backwards? Why did you turn around?
Now they're back together. Let's see how long that lasts. Oh, look, there's another tuber crossing behind us. Hand up like you're on a roller coaster. It's not quite the same thing, but it may be pretty close to it. Now we're getting the hang of things, crisscrossing the way. Now we're down entering the cove at the southwestern end of the lake, and there's a little protection from the northwest wind down there. And I think it's about time we tried to get them into a vortex and just see what happens. vortex is created on the water like this by the boat running in circles so that the wake kind of gets crossed over into itself and gets a little bouncy out there. Let's see how they handle it. And round she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows, and look at them bobbing around like a cork on the water. And I couldn't stay watching them because I was getting myself all twisted up. And there they are again. And it's about time to turn back around the other way so I won't get twisted up this way. Now it's Zach's turn to try a little bit of tubing here. With just one person on there, the weight distribution is going to be a little different. And if you notice that harness on the front there, where the rope from the boat is tied to, we'll have a little more to say about that in a little bit. For the reason, well, it'll be kind of obvious at the time.
Slow down. Okay, you're up there now.
Zach's an old pro at tubing, so we should be able to see some fancier stuff. Throwing his weight around a little bit to see if he can steer somewhat. Oh, and look at this. He's trying to stand up. I wonder how long that'll last. Whoop! Not too long. I don't think that hand is doing much good out there. I think he's trying to steer with it, and it's just going where the boat's taking it. He's getting some nice air out there. Wow, he's getting some real air out there. Look at him go. And now we've got him standing up again. I wonder how long that will last. Whoop, not too long. some more air as the lake gets a little rougher as we head north. Some air out there. Wow, look at them go. Now, you remember what I said about that tow harness a little while ago? Well, there's another one on the other end of the tube, so that if you don't like the orientation you're going in, you can turn it around and tow it from the other end and change the aerodynamics and lots of other things. Let's see what happens as we pick up some speed now. He's standing up again, holding onto the back. It might be a little bit easier to do that this way. Let's see how he lasts. Oh, he's down again. Must be in a little rough. Oh my goodness, there he goes. Too much weight shifting, and he got flipped right over. Now we'll go around and pick him up again and see where we go from there.
So was it worth it?
That way it's so much harder. You can't stand up. The water makes it all slippery. So you can't get a good balance or anything.
Let's do that!
Now we've brought out another tube. This one's flatter and doesn't hold quite so many people. So the two girls are out there being towed on what is considered a little bit more usual for tubing. We'll see how they go, because this one has a bit of a different ride to it. Up there goes Riley. Swept overboard. It's a little harder to hang on. I mean, they've got the handles and things. Sometimes it can be just a little bit harder to hang on for a long time on a flatter tube. And Campbell's decided to get off and get in the water. She certainly didn't get swept off by anything because the boat wasn't going fast enough. Well, that's the end of the tubing day today. And when you get through with a rough day out on rough water, it's kind of nice just to sit in the calm shallows and relax for a while. And just around that point you see there on the upper left-hand side of the screen, there's another little cove like this where a lot of folks who are in there for summers on the weekends moor their boats and just sit and have some fun. And they call that the Redneck Yacht Club. Mostly because there is no dock, there is no clubhouse, and there is nothing but a lot of boats out there moored all together, enjoying the sunshine and the water. Well, that's the end of our tubing adventure. We'd like to thank the 3 11-year-olds, Dylan, Riley, and Campbell, for being our victims, test subjects today. We'd also like to thank Zachary Corcoran for his attempted stunts on the tube, Kelly and Jeff Corcoran for assuming the hosting duties and for transporting the boat, and Mary Watson for piloting the boat during the hair-raising maneuvers in dumping our victims, test subjects, from the tubes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again on Outdoor Adventures. This has been a production of Whitman Hanson Community Access.